Greetings, metal friends and fans, and welcome to the Jam Spot. I'm your host, Kevin Lane, from Rebel Radio's Morning Metal Wake Up with Griffith and Lane. Today, I'm bringing you Trip Six. They're from right here in Chicago. We talked about their recent East Coast tour with Mushroomhead and their upcoming CD release party. That's at Reggie's. I also talked to local Chicago mainstays Rival. What did we talk about? Their upcoming CD release party at Reggie's. That's right, it's going to be a double onslaught of new metal at Reggie's. But I'll let the bands fill you in on that. Trip Six also gave us a one-of-a-kind jam spot performance on one of their brand new songs from their brand new release. Let's check that out. But first, from the first release, Vulgar, this is Hellbound.
The time has come. You will burn.
Wheelhouse strong, I'm a son of a bitch, and you can tell anybody the same. Always overbearing, a little bit scary, but I bet you remember my name. I'm a nightmare, come alive, just me and say, any closer and you never come back. Maybe someday I'll be the one in the ground. That day ain't here yet, I'm hellbound. Hellbound. Yeah, hellbound. Hellbound. Didn't see me coming, so the doc was surprised. He couldn't grasp I was up in his face. Sent his ass running cause he don't mean nothing, and I'll soon be taking his place. Do tell, go to hell, go away by myself. Stand back and watch me explode. Just got drunk with the devil himself, and now I'm passed out on his throne. I'm hellbound. Hellbound. Yeah, hellbound. Hellbound. I'm hellbound. Hellbound. Yeah, hellbound. Hellbound.
Hellbound by the band formerly known as Vulgar. After some personnel changes and a name change, they just released their third EP, first with their final lineup, and now here they are.
Trip Six, motherfuckers, yeah! Oh, can I swear? No.
Yes,
okay.
You can swear. Let's go down the lineup, starting with you, Vic.
I'm Vulgar Vic, the drummer of Trip Six.
And you, sir?
I'm Kevin Munster. I've been an alcoholic for 29 years. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wrong meeting, dude.
Wrong meeting. Kevin Munster. I play bass for Trip Six.
Nate Tavan, vocals.
Sam, guitar.
All right. So, Vic,
Yeah.
how did Trip 6 begin?
Well, it was just brainstorm from Kev. We jammed in a band years ago, Mary Jane's Defected Blues Band, and he was in this other band, and then he says, "Hey, you want to start a band?" And it was that. That's how it happened, basically.
It's very romantic.
He wanted, me to play,
romantic.
he wanted me to play guitar at first.
We both went to put the CD in at the same time and touched hands.
Okay, so Vic,
Stranger.
on the first EP, you wrote the majority of music, lyrics, and everything. Now I understand it's more of a collaborative effort with the band. Is that
Absolutely.
correct?
The first one was, like he said, I had a bunch of stuff kind of halfway written, and so we just followed it through with that, and that was the first one. And then after that, everyone contributes to the writing. It's a group thing, a collaborative thing there, yeah.
Nate, you now write the lyrics and contribute to the vocals of this band. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct. Vic allowed me the opportunity to attempt to write some lyrics for his music, and I gladly accepted. And, you know, they kind of put me through the grinder a little bit. Like, fucking, you write a draft, you come in, you do it. No, I don't like that. Do it again. Change it. Well, I don't know how, but change it. And then you come in, and again, the following practice, and it's a little different. Closer, but change it some more.
But wait, it wasn't your lyrics, it was the vocal melody that was most important.
It wasn't
I love
the
your
melody.
lyrics. I like your lyrics, it was the melody more.
You shat on the lyrics,
No,
but it was okay. It's okay.
okay.
Do we have a microphone?
You're a writer now, then.
But wait, let me
I
can
am,
say,
sir.
no apologies on my part, because what we got out of him is fucking top-notch, fucking great material. It's on the fucking CD, so pick it up. This kid was fucking great, worked out good.
So they kind of put you through the grinder. What was the initiation like, becoming part of Trip 6?
Should I talk about the egg yolks and the asshole?
No.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Easter's
Scratch
coming
that.
up.
Cut that out.
Wait for Easter.
We were on the road last Easter.
Yeah, I know.
No, yeah, you know, it was interesting because the guys fucking were blunt off the bat. Like, yo, our backs are against the wall. We got this tour booked. We need a fucking, you know, a singer. Can you help me out? And I was like, are you at the right number?
He came through like a champ, though.
Nah, it's all good though. Yeah, it was great, man. You know, getting to know these fucking clowns and going on the road and all that kind of thing.
Now, you recently toured on the East Coast with Mushroom Head. How was that tour? Did you guys learn some stuff? How was the experience as a whole?
Okay, this interview's over.
That was good.
The Mushroom Head tour, did you guys gain some fans? How did it go for you that way?
We stole tons of fans from them. We opened up from the day. We had a kick-ass response, and every time we played, nice shows. It was great. It was a great experience.
That's kind of the whole point of getting out on the road. You know, a band like us, we're a Chicago band. We don't really have a following outside of the city. So for us to get outside the city and see other states, other towns, play to these people who have never heard of us, first of all, don't know our music, and don't know us at all, and then to convert them in real time, in the moment, I mean, that's something special. You know, that's kind of why we do it, because that's how you build a fan base organically.
Okay.
Not to mention our road brothers on that trip was not my master. So
Yeah.
they made it a good trip for us, because, you know,
Great guys.
and a
Absolutely.
bunch of great fucking
Texas
guys.
Metal.
You guys need to play them on your fucking station, that's for sure.
Let's talk about the show in Ohio. Al Rosa Villa. You guys played the stage where Dimebag Darrell lost his life. Sam, you were standing in almost the very same spot. What was that like?
It's pretty surreal. I was looking at the bullet holes in the wall next to me. They left them there. It's kind of weird, but yeah, they're there, and it was weird, man. It was really weird, but nice club though, man. Good stage, awesome venue to play at. I'd love to play there again.
So, Vic, what was it like for you to play on that stage?
Well, it was an honor, and also was a, awakening. Just like you could be Dimebag was one of the best guitar players on the planet, and that's where he died, and he was not going to stop plowing through and keep rising to the top again, and it was a good thing. Never stop, keep going and going.
Now, Vic, you're a big Dimebag and Vin Paul fan, and I understand your favorite band is Pantera. Tell me a little bit about how you discovered Pantera and what your favorite album is.
Cowboys from Hell got me, obviously, but Vulgar Display of Power, that was over. It was, this is the best. It's the greatest shit ever, man. Especially, what was that, 92? It's like, holy shit. Yeah, big fans ever since. And they were brothers.
All right, so December 29th, CD release party. Coincidentally, you're sharing that stage that night with Rival, and it's their CD release party as well.
How lucky
It
And we
is-
would just like to thank Nevin for giving us the opportunity to do the CD release party with him. Thanks,
man.
brother.
Yeah, you're the man, dude.
Continue.
Hey, and how lucky is that to be having a CD release party with our good friends for 1,000 years, man. Rival, another icon of metal music in Chicago, man.
Have you heard their new CD yet, or are you
I
waiting
have
to
not.
hear it live?
I have not. We're gonna hear it for the first
Definitely
time.
gonna
They're
hear
gonna
it.
hear our stuff for the first time. That
Hopefully
night,
they'll play the
so
whole thing.
We're gonna pop each other's cherries that night.
Well, that sounds like a good time had by all. It's
Good
definitely going to be a double onslaught of brand new metal for Chicago fans.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
We recently talked to Rival. Let's take a look at that now, and then we'll be back with Trip 6. You guys are going to play a song for us a little bit later. Here's Rival. Okay, we're back. That was Hell Train by Rival. How's it going, guys?
Okay.
So this is coming up with your brand new CD. You're going to be having your CD release party on December 29th at Reggie's with Trip 6. It's been 14 years since your last CD. And what's
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. Why so long in between recordings?
Good question.
You know, things happened. We had a fire at our old loft, and things just, everything was like, we were going through a roller coaster ride with, labels and problems. But, you know, we got over our issues, and now we decided to put this thing together. That's all it is.
We've been rehearsing, you know, we always kind of stayed together, we just,
Now you have
I
played
have.
some shows since the last CD that you put out. Several shows over the last 10, 14 years, basically. And some of this material that you're releasing now on the new CD, you guys have had this and have been performing this for a while, is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Some of it,
So,
Not all of it.
the
So
title track Prophecy,
yes.
We've had it for a few
that's
years.
that you've been playing for a while. Tell us a little bit about the recording process. Now I understand you recorded everything right here in your rehearsal studio.
Exactly.
Let's talk about a little bit how that came together.
it started out as pre-production, you know, we wanted to have it together before we went into the studio. And kind of started setting stuff up and learning the programs, and
And then I thought, these guys wanted to go into a studio. I'm like, why don't we just do it here? I have microphones for everything. He's got some knowledge.
you had mics, yeah.
So we tried a song, it was working, and we just went for it.
So when you recorded basically your first song for your click track in the studio, that's when you decided, wow, this is really good. Let's just do it.
It's gonna work here, so why go anywhere else to pay money?
We were gonna do a live album, we were gonna try to do everybody live, it was gonna be live in the loft, but we just couldn't get the sound quality. So we all went direct to headphones, and he laid down his track, his drums, in one day, and it was only to be, again, for practice. And then we started layering it and doing the vocals and the guitars, and I got obsessed with doing the stuff, and
Well, he got obsessed with it.
Yes, he did.
He started buying this software, that software. He's like, oh, dude, I got this shit, I could do that, and so forth.
It was crazy.
It was pretty intense.
oh, it'll never work, but maybe if we,
It's
you
like
know,
kind of like the pre-production just kept rolling and rolling and rolling, and then next thing you know, hey, we could do this ourselves, save a whole bunch of money, and you know.
It's because it started
technology,
sounding so good.
you know, in the box.
And we knew exactly what we wanted out of our sound because we've been doing it for so many years.
That helps too, right?
We knew what we wanted to get. And a lot of the times when you go into an engineer or you go into a recording studio and they engineer it, they're engineering it their way with their ideas and their visions of your sound. But they don't have your ideas in mind. And so when we went into it, we had our full vision. Gary got his sound that he wanted. We got our sound that we wanted, and we all mixed it all together and we put out something that we felt proud about. That's all.
Now you started with the drum tracks, and in order to record the drum tracks, you were all wearing headphones, so you had nothing coming out of the speakers, and then you laid the drum track. That had to be pretty comical for anybody that would walk in here and see you guys jamming away.
Yeah, nobody.
With no sound.
All they heard was
Except for
drums.
the drums.
They just heard a drum set going off.
We didn't know if it was gonna work, you
We
know?
wanted to get a good capture, you know, but we wanted to play together. The whole thing was we needed to play together, no click track, just playing together, and
And you would
That's how
think,
we did
you
it.
know, you would think because when you're recording like this, your guitars, those clinks, all those little noises are going to be picked up by the mics. But he's so loud, it drowned everything out. So
Gotcha. So basically, this entire album was more or less recorded as a live group effort. Kind of like going back to the old school days of the old blues albums and Chess Records,
Oh,
where
yeah.
everybody just went in the room and laid it
Big
down.
time, yeah, exactly.
So this wasn't assembled track by track by track like a lot of the
We
newer
went through the
stuff
whole
is.
set.
We did that too in the past on the previous record. Excuse me, drums one day, guitars the other day, you know, and it just kind of lost its flow, you know? It was okay, but it just wasn't like playing together in live, you know, so. Yeah, essentially we all did play together and kept what was workable and whatever didn't work, you just laid that down again. And it maintained still the essence of playing live together.
And do you feel that has a big difference in the sound of what you put out with this album as opposed to what you've done in the past, where you did do the studio scene, track by track, guitars one night, bass another night?
Don't get me wrong, I mean, that was a beautiful,
We did overdo it.
we had a great time in the studio recording and stuff, don't get me wrong. It's just here, it was more personalized. You know, we were able to reflect it in our way.
Take our time,
And
don't
take
worry
our
about
time
money.
and-
Exactly.
Present
Out the window.
Not hourly, right?
Present it the way we wanted it presented, and with the just the all-out just relaxation of it all, you know?
So
No
would you-
pressure.
No time limit, right?
Would you consider this your best release so far?
Yeah, no,
I mean,
It's hard to say.
It's really hard to say, because
When
we
you're-
like everything we do.
When you're doing it at that time, you feel like that's your best work at that time.
Right.
So each release is like you captured in that moment, and you're giving it your best effort for each of those moments, you know? So for what we did and how we did it, I think it's a really good product.
I actually have heard the entire CD, and I thought, I was shocked when you told me that you recorded it in a rehearsal space. It sounds phenomenal, and it's a
Good
great
jail
piece of
sound,
work,
yeah.
and you did an amazing job on
Big
this. Now, you mentioned that you wanted it to sound the way you wanted it to sound. What kind of influences do you have, and like, what do you hear in your head? Who's some of the guys that you like play into creating the sound that is Rival?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, man.
Because everybody has their own vision of what they like themselves to sound like. We have to make it all communicate together, you know what I mean? Like Nevin has his own influences, so he has a certain style of guitar sound that he wants.
Right.
And to tweak that in, it's gotta be him, you know, only he can figure it out, because it's his ears and it's what he likes. Same with Chuck and same with me and Gary, you know, we have our own influences, but once we establish our sound, bringing it together is like nothing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's kind
Excellent.
of like a big puzzle, you know, everybody's got their piece, and they put it in, and this is gonna work, and that's gonna work, and
But all the puzzles put together.
you just kind of mold it together as you go along, and the end product could be great. It could also be awful, so.
Well, I haven't heard anything from Rival that I would consider awful yet, so.
Why, thank you.
We
Thank
threw
you.
away a lot of material that we didn't think was gonna be worth putting out, you know.
We like to look at ourselves as our worst critics, because we will cut ourselves down before anybody else does.
And you could
Right.
spend weeks on it, months sometimes. Here's a song, by the time it's done, that's not good. Scratch, there it goes, you know, and you're like, wait, but we just put time
Spend
into
3,
that.
4 months on it, and then
Yeah,
you don't like
so-
it, you know, so.
Oh, talk about Black Widow.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah.
finally finished that song.
So, if I may, back in the day, it was Chuck and Gary and myself originally, before John came in.
1990,
Something.
89, 1990.
So, we just started to, you know, play original material, because that's what we wanted to do at that time, right? And we just started coming up with riffs, and we had maybe 5 riffs that we just constantly played over and over. And there was this one song that appears now on the new CD called Black Widow. And that foundation of that song, the meat of that tune, was one of the original like 5 songs that we did back in the day.
Never finished.
And we never were able to add anything to it, and every time
And-
we tried, it would never work out.
20
right,
years
you
ago,
know?
buddy.
And that was my auditioning song that I played to get into the band.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Learn this one.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, there it was on the shelf for so long, and we're thinking, man, you know,
So many hours.
we would revisit it, and we would try it, and put a
Yeah,
piece into
nope,
it, no,
nope,
that sucks,
nope.
you know? And then finally, we came up with this part, and that led to another part, and then we had, okay, that's fine, what about lyrics? And then him and I talked it over, and we're like, well, what if you wrote about this or that, you know, try this.
He brought up the suggestion, Black Widow. I was like, okay, well, yeah, that's interesting, but never really triggered until, like, I guess it was, he told me on a Thursday, and we usually we only practice like twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So over the weekend, I thought about what he said, and I'm like, all of a sudden epiphany happened, and I just, boom, lyrics just popped out of my head for that song, and I just started going, Gonzo. I sent him a copy of it. I'm like, dude, that name, Black Widow, works. It's gonna be the song's name. He's like, oh, okay, and that was that. That was his.
Because when you have the music down,
28 years later.
you hear it over and over, and you start to think, what would be a good
Almost 29.
chorus? You know, once you have the music down, then you start to throw down ideas like, you know, you hum it along, what would work? And so that was one of the ideas, and he went with it, and next thing you know, boom, it's finally
Now, when you're,
resurrected from the dead. You know.
so when you're creating, where does it usually start? Does it start with your guitar riffs, or does it start with a drum beat and build from there? How does something new from Rival begin and evolve?
It depends, really.
They can be anybody.
It could be anybody. Gary could just be sitting there playing a beat, and all of a sudden we're like, we'll jam into it, and before you know it, it's a song. Or Nevin will come up with a riff, and we're like, I'll pick up on it, and before you know it, it's a song. So forth and so forth. Chuck, all of us. We all communicate in that way.
Now, as far as the lyric, is that driven more by the riff, or do you have a concept of the lyrics for a song or a concept for the song, and then you fit it to a particular riff that you have at the time?
Well, this is how the lyrics come about. Quite honestly, when we rehearse and we're coming up with ideas, I'm singing all the time. So I'm getting the melodies already down for the idea. And once I have the melody down, the lyrics just fall into place. But we have to have a complete idea first before I can actually start writing lyrics. That's the way I work.
You're celebrating the release of this CD, December 29th at Reggie's.
Yes, we are.
You'll be playing with Trip 6 that night. There's a couple other...
Lip drone and pipe.
And pipe, right. Now, what's next for Rival? Are you going to start playing more shows coming up this summer? Are you going to fall back, start writing some new material? What's your direction at this point?
You just gave me a whip. So much. Take it away.
I'm sending out emails to try to get us back to Germany to play. And I'm making the contacts, and the thing about that is you have to be invited to play.
Right.
You know, you just can't be like, hey, I want to play, but you know, they have to have you over. You have to be invited. So
The
I'm
first
trying to
time
make
we were
that
there, we were invited over there because of the fact that we put out an album on our own,
A song.
and they liked it. They liked it a lot, and they had to have us over there. They put us up in a nice lavish hotel until they took it away from us.
Yeah.
You got some stories.
So
Long story.
Wild and crazy.
long story short, I've been sending out information to get us to other places because we've been in this town for a long time. We've played just about every place you can think about in this town. And so we want to branch out and do something else, you know, do something bigger on a bigger scale, open for a national, or, you know, go to some other states and play out there with some other bands and labels. You know, do something different that we haven't done here in town, or go to like Japan. We've been sending CDs to Japan. They've been selling out over there. Again, another situation where you have to be invited to go there, you know.
Right.
So summertime comes around, there's a lot of festivals all over the place. We just have to hit it, and the timing has to be right. And you can't really go there without having a couple of them in line because it doesn't really work out financially, you know. You gotta pay to get there, and then what are you gonna do? One show, and then you fly home, you know? You wanna do 2 or 3 or more while
Right.
you're there in that general area. So you can take 2-3 weeks and go to this place, this place, this place, play 4 times, and then you come home. That's worth it, you know?
But we're also pumping this album.
Yeah, I like this,
we've never
right?
pumped an album before.
See how the album does. If people like it, get it
And-
out there, and if
The thing is,
They like
before
it.
we put out an
Get asked.
album, we advertised it, but it wasn't nothing major. This has been pushed to a different level. So because of it, we gained some kind of attention that
We haven't had.
we haven't had.
Do you feel that the evolution of social media is going to be in your benefit now as opposed to when you released your last album?
Oh,
For sure.
Being
For
able
sure.
to get out in front of more people?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that why you decided to release yourselves rather than approaching a label and trying
Exactly.
to go
Well,
that route?
this is the age where if you do it yourself, you're better off.
we do have, we're with a distribution
It's
label.
distribution.
We are
Yeah, basically,
Dark Star
Dark Star
Records.
Records. There are
We're on iTunes, he got us on Amazon, he got us on a lot of exposure that we probably wouldn't have been able to do ourselves, so. And we're getting a lot of album sales over in Europe and Germany, and a lot more exposure, so we're hoping this album will take kind of a life of its own. It's kind of a slow start and pick it up. So maybe by next summer, we might have some nice offers on the table that we could consider, that would be great.
All the reviews that we've gotten feedback on have all been, 9.5 and high rankings for everybody that's reviewed it, that knew us and wanted to see what we've been up to and how the new record's going. So it's been very positive,
And quite honestly, I'm shocked because I didn't expect it to get that good of a response because we did it ourselves. It's not like we did it in some major like $1 million studio or anything like that. So we're like, what? People are loving this? So it's
Man, you never know. It's a
Yeah.
crap shot, You
Yeah.
you write the song and you think it's good. It makes us happy, and we're like, okay, hopefully somebody else likes it.
yeah.
Do you think the home recording style and maintaining the live essence gives the music and the album as a whole more of an impact musically?
Yes, I do that.
To some degree, but having a $1 million studio behind you while you do it is a beautiful thing too. We just don't have that kind of money, so it is what it is.
It's raw, and we played it together. And, it wasn't like one guy played to a click track, and another guy played to a click track. I mean, we did play it together. So that gave it probably its own feel. That probably
We
really.
did the best with what we had.
You could go to $1 million studio and put out garbage too.
Exactly.
Happens all the
But
time.
still, you got the time to do it here, I mean,
It's not
there's no
perfect.
rush.
It's not
You know,
perfect.
hurry up, man, we got another $50 we gotta pay, you know what I mean? Take your time, go take a crap, do what you gotta do, come back and do your thing,
Exactly.
So it's no pressure, which is really very nice,
Yeah.
very nice.
Homebrew, microbrew.
Trust me, if you're in a
Opposed to
studio
drinking
recording
blood.
and you got a clock ticking, and you got money that you're dishing out every freaking hour, you're gonna be like, we gotta get this done, we gotta get this, and you're not gonna be on your game. You're not gonna
Right.
do
I could be
the
relaxed.
song.
It's good enough, good enough.
Although being in the studio is
You
a
make
whole different
compromises.
atmosphere, though.
Like one thing you would like to fix, you let it go because it's gonna take hours to fix or whatever it is,
Right.
You just,
When you're here and you don't have that kind of pressure, it's a whole different feeling.
I did some of my parts at home. I mean, how convenient to finish some of your solos and convenient to.
Yeah, must be nice. Must be nice.
Flasher and
Taking this shit home.
I think it was Mike. I think it was Mike through Marshalls. They were all as, non-digital as we could be, but, it was nice to have that. And then I'd be here with him working one night, I'd be with him working on his vocal, and be with him, and it was just
you put in a lot of time. Chuck put in a lot of time.
a lot of time at home, man.
Yeah, without
All
him-
my weekends.
So-
Without him, we wouldn't be able to do what we did.
So you're basically the primary producer on this? Engineer, producer,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
and then of course
I
you
threw
help
my
out.
ears in there.
Got a lot of input from these guys, and they really steered the direction.
I mean,
as
we
far
get
as they
him,
wanted
we
it
had to figure out how to
be.
do it,
Yeah, I did a lot of
So-
editing, and I learned a lot of plugins, and learned to DAW, and learned and trying to figure out.
And then we had to
Yeah.
worry about the cover design, we had to worry about who's gonna create the cover. And I just said, you know what, let me take it under my wing,
It helps when one of the band members is the producer of the whole thing because that person knows what it's supposed to sound like.
We've got more metal for you right after this.
Get my metal from the hardest station in the nation, rebelradio.com.
Radio. Can you feel it? If not, just make it louder!
Welcome back. I'm Kevin Lane from Rebel Radio's Morning Metal Wake Up with Griffith and Lane. We're on weekdays 7 to noon, and don't miss Scott Davidson noon to 7. He's always got tickets and great giveaways every day, every afternoon on Rebel Radio. Let's get back to the metal right now.
What's up, planet Earth? We are Trip 6 from the great city of Chicago. This is the title track from our forthcoming EP. It's called Push Back! On your feet!
I want to thank Trip 6 for having me down and playing some brand new live metal for us. I also want to thank Rival for sitting down with the Jam Spot, and don't miss Trip 6 and Rival at Reggie's December 29th. It's going to be a total metal pre-New Year's bash. That's all I have. Thanks for watching the Jam Spot. You can catch me on the hardest station in the nation, Rebel Radio, streaming worldwide on rebelradio.com. Till then, keep one foot in the gutter, one fist in the air, and rebel on.